I'm a psychologist and I already studied psychology in Lebanon. Now I'm doing a master in diplomacy and international organization. In my future, I want to be in a place which I can take a decision to help people, support them. I want to be a good person in a good place, in appropriate place to have. I just want to have a power to take this decision who make people live a better life. The reason why I want to I studied psychology in Lebanon is I already worked with people with small children aged between 5 and 12 years have a PTSD problem in Syria, and I worked. In that time I was working with UNICEF, and I already saw what type of problem which people faced at that time. So when I traveled to Lebanon, I decided to complete with psychology, and I already love it. I decided to study diplomacy because I want to help all people, not only in Syria. I want to help all people in the world who have problem, who have conflict or something like that. I think the conflict will finish, but the effect of this conflict will not finish after 5, I don't know, maybe 15 years. After 15 years, maybe more than. So the conflict will finish, but the bad effect will not finish. And this, his decision for 1 time or 2 times or this period will affect on not only one person, affect on a generation. If you walk in Syria and talk with people, the people are not alive, are died walking. The people have a problem, not like Syrian people before 10 years ago. My plan is just like to have, after a few years, I'm planning to have a job, establish my own home, my own family, have a house. At first, my priority plan is just to have a house to myself. It's just like a home. It's just like a country to myself. Then my plan is just like to be a place in Syria to take a decision, to make people follow this decision, to affect on people. Also, my plan to make is just like to work in education sector in Syria, because I believe the education is one of the best thing who will change. So if I change the education in Syria, maybe I can change a lot. If my plan is just like to make a system in education, this system will mix everything with each other. Maybe this system will make a change in Syria and will make a Syria one country, will be like a Europe, or I don't know, maybe that will help Syria to be better than now. Still remember the smell of a flower in my street. There is a type of flower in the street. It was very beautiful. I couldn't find it, and I think it will not be exist after that 10 years. I don't know, most of people and all people now in Syria has a psychological problem. I think all people in Syria now need a therapy. All of them, the children, the men, the women, all of them. And mental health, yeah, it affects a lot, because yet now I get a therapy session with my therapist, and my physical it not affect because I don't have any problem with my body or with my physical life, but in mental life, yes, some days personally it's not very affected, but I still remember the bomb voice. I still remember a lot of things, like if I walk in the street and I smell something, some days I remember the smell of the bomb. So yeah, I think the conflict affect more than to my brothers. He has a bad dreams. Yet today he's 16 now, but yet today he has this type of problem.
من الغاز